approaching the Verrazano Bridge, heading east, and I wanted to, I wish I could get my phone holder to aim upwards, but it just won't, it won't go down much. Y'all remember that video I did about a year ago, and it was overcast, little overcast, some low clouds, and oh, the bridge really looked beautiful that night. But I can't capture the beauty of it. It is a beautiful bridge, but you know, on the way over, they had to stop the traffic. I wonder how many hours it was backed up. That had to have been a horrible crash. But this lane here is the entrance to the Belt Parkway, and that parkway is always backed up, and it begins at the end of the bridge. So I'm sure there was some type of sudden stop, and someone didn't see it in time and probably rear-ended someone very badly. I see the New York skyline. It's beautiful. I would have to take my phone out of the holder to show that to y'all, but I don't want to do that while I'm driving. It's too distracting. One of my subscribers lives in right across the river from New York. I believe it is New Jersey where she lives. I can't remember the name of the town. But she wants me to ride into the city on the train one day, and she's going to meet me at Penn Station, and we'll do some video taping in Times Square. Probably in the spring when the weather is a little warmer, not so brutally cold. It's not brutally cold, but it's cold enough. Cold enough to not want to go into the city. Oh, Lordy. Especially for this South Mississippi girl. There's the bridge. Y'all can see the beauty of it. Wonder what year it was born. I'm fascinated by bridges. I used to care for an elderly man who was a civil engineer. He got his engineering degree from Bucknell University in Bucknell, Pennsylvania. And he actually designed several of these bridges here in New York and New Jersey. I could never be an engineer. I could never be anything that had to do with mathematical equations. Oh, Lord, I can barely add and subtract. My brain just goes scatters. I think people who are left-handed have more of adaptability to solve mathematical equations. What do y'all know about conversion vans? Do you buy them already converted, or do you buy like just a regular van, like a Dodge, what are they called? Caravan, or Ford Transit, or GMC, what are they called? Sierra? Do you buy just a regular van off the lot, and then you convert it yourself? You put in a bed and a little composting toilet and a little fridge and freezer and a little oven and stove or whatever. I just don't know. I'm wondering if I'd be better off to buy a van mean, my car is getting kind of old. It was the 2008, so 12 years old. I mean, it's still a good car. I don't really have to buy a new one, but if I bought a conversion van and lived in it, I'd save $1,080 a month on rent. And I could easily pay the notes on a van for less than what I'm paying for rent. You know, I've never camped a night or a day in my life, so I'm not 100% sure that I would like it. Living in a van and living the camping lifestyle. The only time I ever spent a night in a campground was when John and I lived in eastern Tennessee, and some friends of ours were camping at one of the Tennessee Valley Authority campgrounds, and they invited us over for a cookout one night. So me and John and the 3 children went, and we were in his little, I don't know why we didn't take my Nissan Maxima, but we took his Nissan Sentra. So we went and we ate and everything, and we went to leave, and it was 10 after 7. Well, y'all, the gates were locked at 7 p.m. Well, the tender, I guess that's what they're called, the campground attendant, there was a trailer there, and he lived in the trailer. So John went and knocked on his door to ask him to open the gate and let us out. And he goes, "Rules are not to be broken." And so John said, "You know, you got to let us out. We have 3 kids in the back of the car. We can't stay in this campground overnight." Y'all, that big old burly hillbilly mountain man, whatever he was, he went and got his shotgun now and came out and shot it into the air. And he said he was not opening the gates. That rules were rules and they were not to be broken. Well, when he came out with that shotgun, that's the first time I ever seen John L. Sullivan back down from anybody. I mean, he never backed down from a fight, but I reckon with our 3 kids in the car, he decided he better back down from that fight. So we drove back to our friend's campsite, and the little children had to just sleep in the back of the car, and I just sat up all night. There's no way I could sleep in that car. So at 7 that morning, the old mountain man went out there and opened the gates, and we took out of that campground like a bat out of hell. Oh, that was a horrible experience. So that was my camping experience. But anyway, that was on a Saturday night, and we finally got rested up on Sunday. Well, Monday morning, I went into my job at the Tennessee Valley Authority, and my boss, he was one of the high up attorneys in the Office of the Attorney General, where I was the legal secretary. So I told him what happened, and he said he wanted the guy's name and the name of the campground, and he was going to go fire the guy, and he did. I mean, he just couldn't believe. I mean, that was false imprisonment. You know, if I had not been a TVA employee, if I had just been a regular citizen that got locked in like that, they could have sued TVA for false imprisonment. Of course, I didn't want to sue them. They were my employer. But, you know, the old mountain man was drunk. Obviously, he'd had too much of that Tennessee moonshine. You know, y'all probably think, "Oh, Lord, Miss Glenda has lived some kind of a life." And yes, I have. If there's a crazy out there, Miss Glenda is going to attract it. I'm a crazy magnet, psychopath, sociopath magnet. I mean, who can say that they married a guy that had a love affair with the corners of his pillowcases? Oh, Lordy. Anyway, I just wanted y'all to see some of these New York night lights. And I thank you for being here and laughing with me and having fun and enjoying life. That's what life is all about. So I love you. Please give me a thumbs up, and y'all just go right ahead and share my videos on Twitter and Flitter and Instagram and MoneyGram and Pajamagram and all those different grams. And let's get my subscriber count up to 22,000. Wouldn't that be fun to have more members of our YouTube family? So I love you with all of my heart, and y'all just keep on coming back. Good night, guys.